What does a man leading look like in real life?
Okay, thank you. It's very important that he's extraordinarily present. He cannot lose presence when he's with her. His presence is what keeps the environment safe, keeps the relationship safe, and helps her feel safe. He's not allowed to see her overworking her brain. Like if she's exhausted because she's thinking too much or working on like spreadsheets too much or something like this, he can't let her do that, whether that's stopping her, doing it for her, um, kind of like monitoring how much she's hurting herself by using her logical mind. It's more important that she's in her body. Like what serves her and what serves the relationship is that she's in her body and she's feeling everything and she's being present. So it's really interesting that mentally he has to be present, almost like a meditation. But physically, she needs to be present, like a different kind of meditation, like a moving meditation, the kind of meditation where you're like in it when you're in some kind of dance. But he has to be present, like he's aware of the room, he's aware of what's happening, he's aware of himself, he's aware of her. He's attuned. He's attuned to everything, including her. She's attuned to herself. So they have different jobs. He also basically can't let her do anything physical, like putting the groceries away, carrying heavy stuff, things that would physically exhaust anyone, he needs to do. But back to that mental exhaustion, she's not allowed to be mentally exhausted because that depletes not just her, but depletes the relationship. Um, what gives them joy is when she's really happy and she jumps into his lap and she's excited. He gets to enjoy that and he gets to witness that and he gets to frame that. He creates a frame for her experience. It's almost as if because he's there and he is the lap to jump into, she gets to do that. And that kind of isn't so possible if she's by herself. And that's impossible if he's by himself. So anything that would keep that kind of occurrence from happening naturally, like if she's too mentally exhausted, would she joyfully jump in his lap? If she's physically exhausted, would she joyfully jump into his lap? If she's doing tasks that really he should be doing and therefore she becomes resentful, would she ever joyfully jump into his lap? This is sort of a sign that things are going well, that she does things like she's gleeful, she's in the moment and expressing, even if she's expressing anger, that's okay. She's expressing. In this case, like let's say they take a vacation. This will be very interesting, possibly triggering for people. um, it kind of needs to be all about her and what she wants to do. If he wants to do what he wants to do, he needs to take a break from her, one day off, and he does whatever he wants solo. But don't include her and then make her hold space for him. Does this make sense? If she's witnessing him and he's the joyful one, he's the little child doing whatever he wants on their vacation, and it's like maybe it's nerdy and scientific and she hates it, but she puts up with it for him, that's bad for the relationship. It's not necessarily bad for him personally because he needs his needs met too. So he takes a day off. This is why men need to separate from women. And this is again, this will be probably very triggering for people. Men need their alone time and it's sacred and you have to give it to them. Do not butt in. Do not butt in. Like any other time, you can kind of like press your man and like kind of like push him and see how far you can take it before he does something, that's the role of a woman. But when he needs his alone time and there's an agreement on a start time, an end time, start date, end date, whatever, never violate that. Like that is sacred. Without that, he can't hold space for you. So if there's a vacation, it's all about the woman. If there's a 7-day vacation, 6 days out of the 7 are all about her. He kind of puts up with it. He shuts up and he's just like happy to do whatever she wants to do. But maybe 1 day out of the 7 is all about him, but separate from her. She's not like 50-50. Okay, 50% of the things you want to do and 50% of the things I want to do. So we do 50. That's not a polarized relationship. You're allowed to have that kind of relationship, and many relationships are like that. But what I guarantee is there won't be ultimate sexual or spiritual satisfaction. You're keeping you guys low. You're keeping the ceiling low on the the dynamic and the frisson that is possible, and also the spiritual fulfillment of expressing the identity that you were born into. Like you're born into masculinity, express masculinity. Again, this might be very triggering for people. If you are born into femininity, express femininity. If you're expressing masculinity with your masculine partner, you will feel existentially dissatisfied and you won't know how to solve it. So that is my response to what does it look like in real life for a man to lead a woman? Any thoughts, questions, or comments? All right. Thank you for your question. Bye.